Hey everyone, hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Shelly, and today I'm going to be doing what has become an annual tradition for me, which is to show you my unread, my mammoth TBR, my to be read list, in which they're my biggest books. Oh no, I just realized that one of them is part of my setup, so I'll have to Jenga that out. Yeah. Anyhow, if you are new, then hello, welcome. My name is Shelly, and I love books and reading. I'm also a teacher, and I am just coming to those tired days. And I've been very tired. So if you want to subscribe to a tired, cheery, book-loving teacher, I would encourage you to do so. You know, that's my channel. I'm sure that's a lot of other channels too, actually. If you want to subscribe, please do so. Like the video if you like the video, and I have a Patreon in case you want to support me there. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. So what is a mammoth? A mammoth on BookTube means a book that is more than 800 pages. A mammoth in my heart, I would start to define a mammoth, a doorstop, a long book, as a book that is more than 600 pages. Because at 600 pages, it is the length of 2 normal length novels. That's kind of what I imagine it to be. So when it starts to creep past the 600 page mark, I start to think of it as like a rather chunky book. It's going to take me a little while to finish, and I might start to do that dance where I want to read it, but I'm strategically avoiding it because it's going to take me a little while. So let's see, I'll try and pick out some of the longest books in my collection, and I am going to do this in real time. I'm actually starting to look around because I don't really know what's more than like 600 pages. So I did, in my Jenga stack of my setup, I picked The Overstory by Richard Powers. This is actually not even anywhere near 600 pages. This is 502 pages. So The Overstory does not count as one of my longest books. What's interesting too is all of my unread books are in this room, so I could really just scout this room and see. I see a book here. I know it's more, I think it's more than 600 pages. At 625 pages, I have Moby Dick by Herman Melville, which I should have started by now, but I haven't. And I keep telling myself I will start it soon. But yeah, 625 pages. So here's one. I thought The Book of Form and Emptiness by Ruth Ozeki would be more than 600, but this is only 546 pages. So a chunky book, but not a mammoth, at least the way I'm defining mammoth in my heart. Oh wow, this is a mammoth according to BookTube standards, and it is John Galsworthy, The Forsyth Saga. This is 850 pages. So what I do know is this bind-up is three or four books in one, and so it is more than one book. I've actually had a lot of you all tell me to start with just the first book and then see if I want to continue. But yeah, 850 pages, so meets the standard, what BookTube would standardize as a mammoth. Let's also see what is my longest mammoth. Okay, here is a book that I know I will really enjoy reading. I just do. Everyone has told me I will enjoy it. And it is, if I could get to, oh wow, ooh-wee, ooh, baby. It is a long one. At 1,243 pages, we have The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. In this edition, this is the Penguin clothbound classics, I believe, and I really like this edition to look at, but I actually don't really like, I do not enjoy reading from this edition. I would much rather have a floppy paperback or even an Oxford Classic for a long book, but I really, honestly, to be totally honest, I mostly would love to read mammoths on my Kindle because it's just easier. It really is. If there's a character I've forgotten, you can easily highlight the name and search in the past as to when they were last mentioned or first mentioned in the book. And yeah, So I actually don't love reading mammoths physically, even though I find them attractive. Like, I'm attracted to them physically. I'm attracted to the mammoth physically, but I don't want to read it physically. It's kind of a interesting conundrum. So, but I would much rather have something like this Oxford World Classics edition to read from, or a Penguin Classics, which I think I have some really long books anyways in my Penguin Classics, rather than a chunky hardback like this, because I find it kind of unwieldy, and you have to sit in a certain position. You have to like sit upright to read it pretty much, and unless you have one of those fancy stands, which I maybe ought to invest in, but I haven't. So anyways, I have these, and this is the current reigning champ for book length at, what did I say? I don't even remember what I said. 1,243. Oh, I thought this would be more than, I thought Duck's Newburyport by Lucy Ellmann would be longer than my Dumas, but no, this is only, she says only, this is only 988 pages. Ooh-wee, but still, wow. It's a chunkster. I love this book. I love the way it looks. I've not read it, y'all. These are my unread books, so it's like the to-be-read list of mammoth shame, almost. So, but I love the way this book looks. Like, I like its aesthetic. I like its chunkiness. I like the way it feels in the hands. Actually would love to, more than the Oxford World Classics, I would love to read from this beautiful paperback. It is very nice. You know what, that may be, I ought to just, that ought to be my nudge to pick it up. I have not yet. Don't look at my outfit, guys. It's a little embarrassing. Ooh, this one looked big. It's The American People by Larry Kramer. This is volume 2. The standalone second volume by Larry Kramer that talks about, it's like an alternative history, I think, to DC in the 1950s. Don't quote me on that. Steve Donahue was blurbed on the cover, and that's all I needed. Steve Donahue is a book critic here on YouTube that I have, I am like an adoring fan of his, so it's kind of embarrassing. But when he goes hard on a book and he's like, it's amazing, it will just make you angry and you'll have all the feelings, I'm like, yes, thank you so much. So I picked this up on that enthusiastic recommendation, and I've yet to read it. But yeah, it comes in at 880 pages. This is one of those oversized paperbacks. I feel like I'm touching his face when I see this in the viewfinder. This is an oversized paperback. It is large and in charge, and I still would rather read this over the hardback, the Dumas hardback, my reigning champ of longest book that I own. All right, she's big. This is Sun and Splendor by by Sharon K. Penman. She's a big one. Ooh, I'm supposed to start this as my mammoth for March of the Mammoths. And March of the Mammoths is coming to a close. Like, we don't have that many more days in March. This is 927 pages. It's supposed to be about the Plantagenet era, and it's a love letter to Richard III. But yeah, doesn't quite beat the Count, but it's still it's up there in length. I have these chunky paperbacks too. This is The Instance of the Finger Post by Ian Piers, and this is a historical mystery. Oh, it's not that long. It doesn't even count as a booktube mammoth. It's only 723 pages. So I don't know what I was thinking there. Why am I avoiding this? It's not even that long compared to the other books on the list. Elizabeth George likes to write long books. These are later in her Linley series. She has mostly one long-standing series of her career, and it's great. So this is this one, which is The Punishment She Deserves, which is 690 pages. I'm trying to make things longer. Oh, and this one is a measly. This doesn't even count as a mammoth according to my heart. This is only 573 pages, and this is a banquet of consequences. These Barnes & Noble books are actually not as long as they seem. Oh, well. Okay, well, this is The Count of Monte Cristo, also by Alexander Dumas, and it's 700 pages. longer than I thought. I thought it was only 600 and some odd pages, but it's 700. Not quite booktube mammoth, not quite as short as I thought, but yeah. But they tend to seem bigger. They seem longer than what they actually are. I'll show you another book, and you would like, I'm making a huge mess in here. You would actually probably think that this book is longer than it is, and then I'm always surprised to see that it's not quite as long as the spine would have you think it was. Not sure about that grammar there. You're gonna forgive me, please. Oh yeah, see, I was wrong too for this one. So it looks long, it looks chunky. Daniel Deronda by George Eliot is 710 pages. I thought again it was like 650, but nope. Okay, The Struppendorf Steps by Ermito von Dotterer. This comes in, this is a classic. Is it a German? I think it's a German classic. And it is, 839 pages. I really quite like the NYRB books. They're very pretty and they're paperbacks, so I like that. And they seem very well designed, but anyways, I haven't liked it enough to pick this up, but I do quite like it. 2 fantasy books that are quite long. The Mists of Avalon by Miriam Zimmer Bradley. This comes in at 876 pages, so quite big. Again, this is one of those oversized paperbacks, and so is this Perdido Street Station by China Miéville. And this is, not nearly as long. It is 710 pages. But again, it's like these oversized, they're super big. Like as big as my head. Like as tall as the length of my head. Okay, so I have this book, Through a Glass Darkly. This is Kathleen Cohen's book set in the 18th century. And it's about intrigue, treachery, and debauchery. And this doesn't even make it to 700 pages. It's at 673 pages. So again, my reigning champ is still, I have some tricks. I have some books that are going to rival it, but it does not beat my reigning champ of Mr. Dumas. So we're trying to beat 1243. All right, of these, which one looks the shortest? I don't know. I think we'll start with The History of Tom Jones, a Foundling by Henry Fielding. Oh, how disappointing. Oh my goodness. Here I was thinking I was getting some really crazy long books. Well, I guess Penguin does have notes at the end. Oh my goodness. 879 pages. And that's at the appendix. Let me actually get to the end. The Finis is actually at 875 pages, so doesn't even get close to rivaling. Okay, I think let's try Don Quixote next. Don Quixote is 800. No, not 800, girl. 982. I think this is the last one. I'll give one more sweep of the room. That is A Suitable Boy. Boy. I think this video is going to my head. Okay, so A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth. It is longer. It goes to the very end. 1,474 pages. 1,474 pages. Wow. So this is the reigning champ. Let me just do one more sweep of the room just to make sure. A rip-roaring ending if I ever did see one myself. I did not expect that. I knew A Suitable Boy was very long. I just didn't know it was that long. So A Suitable Boy is my reigning champ of the longest book on pages to be read on my TBR. Oh, and I said, oh my gosh, girl, you cannot. And then the runner-up that held the seat for a while was, the Count of Monte Cristo. So yes, let me know, what is the longest book on your TBR? Have you read any of these? Or are there any that I ought to get to soon? I really need to stop beating around the bush with some of these. I've had them for quite a while. But yeah, let's see if I can, I don't know, I'm not going to do that. I was going to be like, maybe I can stack them all up. But you know what? I don't know if I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to say goodbye now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here for this silly, fun, lighthearted video. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye!